Let's learn about Chinese ghosts and monsters, as well as the most famous collection of ghost stories in Chinese history. When talking about Chinese ghosts and monsters, two expressions come to mind. The first one being 妖魔鬼怪. The second one being 魑魅魍魉. Let's break down the first expression. 妖魔鬼怪, I feel like lists out like the main categories of Chinese ghosts and monsters. The first one, 妖, is any kind of animal that gains, let's to put it in a Western context, magical abilities. This could be a fox, a bird, a flower. So anything that already has life that then evolves past what it is. So we're talking flower demons, tree demons, fox demons. Gwilym behind the camera is saying, how about the word nymphs? Well, in Chinese, we divide magical beings of an animal nature or plant nature into two categories. The first one is yao, like I just said. These are always spirits or demons that are out for no good, so they harm human beings. However, if you are a jing, you're kind of like a fairy, a jingling. These are animals that have magical abilities but don't harm humans. So, if you're a good flower person, you could be a hua jing or hua yao. Next, we have mo. Mo, interestingly, whilst is now the character that's most often used for magic, mo fa, is actually more a mindset. When someone becomes overly obsessed and taken over by a thought or a person, they 着魔, they become obsessed. So this almost describes human behavior and how that could be quite monsterish. Next, we have the good old ghosts, and that is 鬼 in Chinese. Ghosts, unlike what I've seen in some Western movies, can take solid forms. Anything that was dead and was once a human can count as 鬼. And in a lot of these stories, they often also have magical powers, can create illusions of buildings, they can take their own form. So Chinese ghosts, unlike the friendly Casper, are kind of just humans that are dead. And finally, 怪. Now, often you'll hear it in 怪兽 for monster, but technically in this category, it means something that didn't have life now suddenly has evolved a spirit. So, if a table develops magical powers and a spirit, it becomes a 怪物. And maybe that's why Frankenstein's monster uses this term, because it's kind of put together from bits that didn't, well, maybe. Anyway, I'm going to class him as kind of a quasi-ghost, 鬼, and a quasi-guai, something that didn't have life that now has life. The next expression, I really want you to appreciate the characters. We're going to flash it up as I say it. 魑魅魍魉. I hope you've noticed that there is a common component for all four of these characters, and that is 鬼, the word for ghost. I think it's quite cool that these four characters actually represent four different types of mythical beings. The expression 魑魅魍魉 is kind of a catch-all category for all types of bizarre ghosts, monsters, spirits, demons, and nymphs. But actually, 魑魅and 魍魉 are also two different types of Chinese demons. 魑魅 are spirits or demons that are formed in the mountains, so this could be a tree or a stone demon. 魍魉 are demons that come from the water. It's said that sometimes they take a form of a 3-year-old child with a black face, long ears, and they creep out to eat humans. Now, the fact that we have two common expressions to try and define or have a catch-all category for ghosts and demons would imply that we have a lot of ghosts and demons and mythical beasts in Chinese culture. Yes, we do. And this has been something that the ancients have tried to keep a track of. So much so that the ancient Chinese people tried to keep an encyclopedia of them, just like dear old Newt here. Legend goes that the mythical emperor Huangdi met the mythical beast Baize. Baize was a beast that had snow-white fur, 4 eyes, almost a goat-like unicorn, and its magical power was that it knew all the names of all the beasts in all the land. The mythical emperor Huangdi became friends with Baizi and he recorded all 15,200 mythical beasts. And it is said that if you have this catalog, if you have this encyclopedia, you will not have any ghosts. 家有白则图，妖怪自消除. Why? Because it said that if you know the name of a demon, you cancel out its magical powers. Now, there are some actual drawings of people trying to create or recreate the 白则图, but it is something somewhat of legend. However, someone did take it upon themselves to collect and record the weird, the bizarre, the fantastical stories of Chinese folklore and history. 聊斋志异, also known as 聊斋, Strange Stories from a Chinese Studio, was a collection of 496 ghost stories, essentially, that were written by the Qing dynasty author SongLing. It's said that SongLing would sit under a tree, set up a stall, make some tea, and wait for passers-by to come through. If you shared a story with him, he would give you a free cup of tea. Out of the 496 stories, a lot of those stories were his way to critique the current government, critique corruption, or explore his own romantic fantasies. Some stories in Liao Zhai are super short, so short that are 26 characters. And the story goes, in the 26th year of Kangxi, there was a village. In the village, there were some cucumbers. Some vines grew upon the cucumbers. There grew a watermelon, the size of a bowl. That's it. That's one of his stories. Others are super long, detailed fantasies of beautiful female ghosts luring in poor academic boys, falling in love, fighting tree demons. Many of his stories have inspired films, comics, novels. Two of the famous ones that are worth checking out are 画皮 and 聂小倩. Huapi is a story of a she-demon that puts on skin of those that she has devoured and keeps young, and she slimes out of it at night, and by day she puts on the skins again. So Huapi, like a skin of pictures. The other one is 聂小倩, which then inspired one of the most famous films in modern Chinese cinema, 倩女幽魂. Go Google the plot. It's quite raunchy, but I guess maybe that was his way of expressing his fantasies. A lot of the stories in Liao Zhai focus on demons, ghosts, witches. However, the author also focused a lot on the everyday life of common people in China. So if you enjoy ghost stories and want a quirky insight into Qing dynasty life of the everyday person, this is definitely a text to check out. I would highly recommend it. Share with us a few or a couple of the 15,200 Chinese mythical beasts that you know. Do you know of any fairies, demons, tree monsters, stone goblins in Chinese? Share them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, do go check out Skritter.com and support this channel. See you next time, and beware of 妖魔鬼怪 and 魑魅魍魉.